Golden Eagles back home at Reed Green Coliseum to face UTEP and UTSA, and the Golden Eagles pick up a couple of Conference USA wins. We'll take a look at all of that today on Southern Miss Sports Today with Coach Doc Sadler. Well, hi everybody. Welcome to Southern Miss Sports Today with Coach Doc Sadler, presented by Bank Corp South. Well, a good week for the Golden Eagles. A couple of home games in Conference USA, and the Golden Eagles grab a 85-75 victory over UTEP, then come back on Saturday and in a wild one knock off the Roadrunners of UTSA. And Doc, let's talk first about the UTEP ball game. That was a tough ball club that you're facing. All of them are tough anymore in this league or in college basketball, but had to be happy with the way your team played to hold off UTEP and get a win on Thursday night.
No question about it, John. You know, going into this week, we'd just come off 2 road games and to open up the league against Western Kentucky and Marshall, and you know, going on the road is difficult. And so coming at home, we're 0-2 in the league. You know that you got a big ball game against UTEP. They're a big basketball team, totally different than we are. So you're concerned about that. But as I've told the team all along, when you get into league play, you can't you can't worry about your record, because you know, depending on how the games stand and who you're playing first or who you're on the road against, you know, it's 18 games. So you just got to play each game at a time. And so coming home against UTEP 0-2, you know, you got to play well. And thank goodness that, you know, we started out the basketball game shooting it and making some shots. We got some confidence, and I thought that once again at home, we've shot the ball well, and that was a big thing about our game on Thursday night. And then defensively, one of the things that we really wanted to do, because they do play through the inside so much, is be really active in the lane and try to be disruptive with our hands once they put it on the floor. And we came away with 14 steals, which is a lot of steals in a game. So, and on the offensive end, again, we took care of the basketball. We made some shots. So overall, again, we had 5 guys in double figures, so we're sharing the basketball, had 19 assists. So overall, offensively, I thought it was one of our better games, and defensively, we made a lot of things happen on the defensive end.
In the UTEP game, but also in the UTSA ball game, and this has kind of been a theme all year long, not many turnovers, and even though you're usually smaller than the other team, you've been able to pretty much play even with them on the backboards, and those are 2 important things.
No question about it. And again, with UTEP being so big, you're concerned about it, but I'm to the point now with our basketball team. We've played so many games, and we've played against some really, really big teams, that the offensive boards have not been a factor. We've talked about it, we've worked on it, and you know, our team understands that. So we're competing on that end of the floor on the defensive boards, and it's different guys getting them each and every game. So we're group rebounding, and doing so, you know, that gives us a chance, because we don't get a lot of offensive rebounds on our end either. So once again, we took care of the ball, so we won that battle. And we had some guys step up and make some shots.
You've really become, I think, a good defensive ball club. I know in that UTEP ball game, I don't know how many times you got your hands on the balls, deflected passes. You know, they got it inside to the big guys. You're able to slap it away, and all those things, and then able to turn them into points at the other end.
Well, it's so hard, you know, to teach your team to keep the floor shrunk, because I don't care how much you talk about, you know, being where you're supposed to be, and your guy gets an open 3 and he makes it, then all of a sudden you lose confidence, maybe a little bit of what we're doing. But as I've tried to explain to the team, it's a 40-minute ball game. You can't take away everything. So, you know, in that particular ball game, we switched their high-low stuff with Kevin staying up top and staying low. And then when it did go down low, we had a guy that was really active, and Kevin that got his hands on a lot of it. But the thing that made me really happy is other guys picked up the steals, and that means that we had guys being active in the lane and trying to be aggressive. and that's why we were able to come away with 14 steals in the ball game.
You got up, I think, by as many as 23. They were able to kind of close the gap towards the end. I know you said afterwards a little disappointed that you didn't maybe play as aggressively down at the end and allow them to kind of get back in the game.
Well, one of the things that I've got to do a better job of, and it's hard because I know each and every game it's just going to be so tough, is getting our guys more rest during the game. And, you know, we got tired, so we started standing around when we had the 22, 23-point lead. And then now UTEP comes down and makes some big shots. We make some tired plays on the offensive end that we didn't need to make. Now all of a sudden it's a 13-point ball game, and the three that Tyree hit was huge because, you know, that could have got it under single digits. And then we were able to finish the game off.
We could spend a lot of time talking about a lot of guys on the team, but Tyree Griffin's a new guy on the ball club who told me one of the things he worked on in the offseason was to, you know, get to know his teammates, because that's important. If you're that point guard, you're the guy that's the quarterback. You're the guy that kind of runs the show, and he's really fit in and done a great job at running the show this year.
Well, there's no question about it that, you know, the reason we're in the top 10 in the country in turnovers is because of him. He controls the basketball, but the good thing is everybody else is just playing more confident. So as long as we keep our turnovers down to 7 or 8 a ball game, then we're going to have a chance to win a lot of games. And a lot of that is because of Tyree and the guys being more confident and knowing that they're playing a position that they're more comfortable playing.
All right, let's go back to Reed Green Coliseum on Thursday night. It was the Golden Eagles and the UTEP Miners, a Golden Eagle victory to pick up their first conference win of the year. Let's go back and take a look at the highlights.
Edwards faking and dribbling, going to drive it to the bucket, fall away jumper is good. Oh, he put that one up over Osborne, who's 6'5". Edwards has got 6 and the Golden Eagles up 6. Picked up by the Eagles. McGee's got it. McGee on the breakaway, throws it ahead to Edwards. Layup is good. Great assist by Dominic McGee. Edwards the bucket and a 28-20 lead. Holland turned down the 3, gives it to McGee in the left corner. Now he shoots the 3. Bingo! Dominic McGee with his second 3. And the Golden Eagles go up 9. Griffin driving down inside, back to Rowe. Tim will spot up. He shoots the 3. No good. Rebound tipped in by Cortez Edwards. He went up with the big guys and tipped it in. 10 for Edwards. Griffin fakes, pull-up jumper, left side. Good. That's a 2 by Tyree Griffin, his first bucket. And Southern Miss a 35-22 lead. Rowe ahead to Edwards, and Edwards lost the basketball, gets it back. Now going to drive to the bucket and lay it up and in. Boy, Cortez can make some plays. With the basketball, Omega Harris down to Wilms. Eagles double him up and knock it loose. And Eagles have it. Here comes Griffin. Griffin, an alley-oop to McGee. Catches it, lays it up and in. Dominic, stutter step, drives down inside, scooped it up and in. He went up and under the 7-footer Wilms to lay it in. Ahead to McGee all by himself. Oh, and Dominic hammers it home with that dunk. 18 for McGee. Edwards left side. Richardson shoots the wide open shot. Hit it. That's a 2 by D'Lo. Richardson's got 4 and the Eagles lead 59-38. Griffin a drive down inside. Lays it up with the right hand and in. He went right in at the big guys and laid it in. Southern Miss has a 22-point lead, 63-41. Here's McGee on a drive. Down inside. Hands it off to Tim Rowe. Dunks it in. Oh boy. Out of way, Tim. Tim Rowe set his feet, exploded up high and dunked it in. He's going to fake, drive to the foul line and give it to McGee. Wide open 3, right wing, bingo by Dominic McGee. 21-point ball game for Dom. Holland turned down a 3, going to drive, pull up jumper in the lane, good by Kevin Holland. 14-footer by Kevin. Kevin has got a 10-point ball game. Griffin out front, 5 on the shot clock. Griffin's going to shoot a 3 straight away. Bingo! Oh, that's a big one. Now that'll stem the tide a little bit. Griffin going to split the double team again. Drive to the foul line, feed Richardson at the foul line, and D'Lo knocks it down. 15-footer by D'Lo. Kevin Holland, under a minute to go. Holland driving, feeds inside. Richardson the layup off the Holland assist. And that's it. Ball game's over. This one going to belong to the Golden Eagles. 85-75 win.
Well, we've just seen the Golden Eagles pick up that victory over the UTEP Miners, and now they had to turn their attention on Saturday afternoon to the Roadrunners of UTSA. And Doc, as we watch the ball game and sort of unfold and watch the Golden Eagles win the ball game, we saw a team that I think put up 44 three-pointers. I mean, they're as good as anybody in the league at shooting the three ball, but you guys did a pretty good job of keeping that under control for most of the ball game.
Well, no question about it. You know, totally different ball game than what we played against UTEP on Thursday night. And the bottom line is we knew there was 3 or 4 things that we had to do. And they're so explosive on the offensive end. But we knew we couldn't, again, give up the inside touches, which UTEP, that's what they wanted to do. Well, this ball game, we knew they were a perimeter-oriented team, and there was a lot of possessions in the game. And as you mentioned, got up 44 threes. That's a lot of three-pointers. And they extend your defense, but they're playing 5 perimeter guys a lot of the time. And so we knew that we had to contest as many of those as we could. But the thing that they had been doing a really nice job of is getting transition baskets and also getting offensive rebounds. So that was something that we really concentrated on in pregame and yesterday in practice. As we talked about it, you know, on Friday we said we got to take care of the paint, guys. We got to be tight. They're going to make some threes. They're going to shoot a lot of them, but let's don't give them both and let's don't foul and send them to the free throw line. And I thought we did a pretty nice job of doing that. And then the thing coming into it, they're probably leading the league, even though it's early in the league, on offensive rebounding. That was going to be a huge key, and we only gave up 2 points on the offensive rebound, so it was a big night for us on Saturday.
In both the UTEP and the UTSA ball game, you got off to really good starts. That had been a problem maybe early in the year. What do you kind of attribute that to? You're able to get off to much better starts than maybe early in the year.
Well, again, I think a lot of it has to do with you know, at the end of the game when you look at it and you see the number of assists that we've got. So that means we're taking good shots and we're getting our teammates good shots and we're getting them open shots. So and at home, you know, this is where we shoot every day, so you're more comfortable with it. So Saturday night when we played, as you mentioned, we got off to a great start. But as I kept telling the team, I didn't know who was going to get off to a great start, but I knew that one of us would, maybe both. But for 40 minutes now, San Antonio has been as consistent as any team in our league. They've been down 15 to 20 and a half and flipped it completely. So no lead was going to be big enough because of the number of possessions and the number of three-pointers that they were going to take. So we did get off to a great start. They did make the little run, but then we came back and, you know, we met that run and extended it back to double digits. And, you know, as we always taught, John, it's easier to shoot that basketball when that next shot's not the game-winning shot. And you've got a little comfort zone and, you know, you're just a little bit more comfortable. And the other thing is they played a lot of zone. And we have, whereas last year that was a problem for us, this year we're much more comfortable of penetrating that zone and getting open looks.
You can't talk about the UTSA ball game without talking about Kevin Holland, the junior from Tuscaloosa, who has played almost every role you could play on this basketball team. This year, he's probably where he's always needed to be, just you couldn't afford to put him in that position. And he goes 7 for 7 from the three-point line, 8 for 8 in the ball game shooting the basketball. Couldn't have happened to a better guy.
Well, Kevin Holland has been a guy that's been in this program for 4 years, that graduated at Christmas. It's just a coach's dream. And as you mentioned, you know, he is the ultimate team guy. There's not a lot of them out there nowadays. That winning is the most important thing to Kevin, nothing else. And as I've told a lot of people, the plays that he makes on the defensive end that nobody really understands or watches, that a coach understands because he knows what kind of defensive scheme he's running. And the number of plays that he covers up for everybody is amazing. So he just makes solid plays late in the ball game. You give him the ball to take it out of bounds. You know he's going to make the right decision, as he did Saturday when D'Angelo was making his free throw. So he got the ball to D'Angelo in the fourth. He just understands those type of things that you don't have enough timeouts to explain. So I was so happy for him. And as I told you before the season, and we've talked about it, he has been the one guy that has sacrificed so much that people maybe didn't appreciate, but he was over a 2,000-point scorer in high school. So I knew he could put the ball in the hole, and now he's showing people that he can.
He's the ultimate coach on the floor.
Oh.
I mean, he's like an extension of you out there.
he probably knows more about what we're doing than I do. And, you know, he'll correct me sometimes. Well, Coach, you sure that's right? But, again, I've known Kevin since he started the school, and he's been a pleasant young man to coach. If all of them was like that, there'd be a lot of coaches doing this for free. But unfortunately, not everybody's like him, but he's going to do everything that he's supposed to do and do it right.
It's an exciting Saturday afternoon at Reed Green Coliseum, the Golden Eagles and the Roadrunners of UTSA. Let's go back and take a look at another Golden Eagle victory at Reed Green Coliseum.
Griffin down inside. Edwards posted up onto Nikolai, gets inside and lays it in. That's a good move by Edwards, who's really good in and around the basket at a 2-0 lead. Edwards faking, dribbling, pull-up jumper straight away. Bingo. It's a 2. Edwards has got 4. Eagles have a 6-2 lead. Driving, spinning inside. Back to Holland. Now back up top. Griffin's going to shoot a 3. Bingo. Good ball movement by the Golden Eagles, and they've jumped out to a 12-2 lead. Pump fakes a 3. Fakes, pulls back. Fakes, now pulls up out front with a 3. Bingo. Boy, the Eagles are red hot. Tyree Griffin's got a pair of 3s. Here come the Eagles. Griffin to Edwards at the foul line. Drives inside. Left-handed shot up and good. Cortez has got 8, and it's a 19-4 lead. Edwards spinning, kicks it back out to McGee. McGee off the wing, shoots up, one up, and drops it in. A 3-pointer, bingo. Dominic McGee scored the first 6 for the Eagles of the second half. Edwards off to Kevin Holland, 3-ball, right side, bingo! Kevin Holland has hit 5 3-pointers in 5 tries. McGee's got it. He's going to fake, drive down the lane, go up with a shot off the glass, no good. Rebound, Edwards in there, lays it in. Edwards took it away from the big guys and got a layup. Bulldog calls the play. Griffin driving off to Holland. Another 3 by Kevin. Bingo! Wow, he just looks Cronin in the face and says, try to stop me. McGee with a basketball. McGee faking, dribbling, spinning, down inside. Pumped it up and in. Oh, he hung in the air, went up and down with it, and laid it in. As the horn will sound, the Golden Eagles get a big one against a very talented UTSA ball club. But the Golden Eagles going to win at 93-83.
I'm from North Philadelphia. We played so many sports. I was actually really good at at football, I'm sorry. I was short, I was fast, I had hands, what you call it, I could receive. And one of my best friend's brother played for a high school called George Washington, and he was like the Barkley of our neighborhood, and I was a little taller than him, so everything his brother taught him, he taught me. And that's how I got involved in basketball. And I took it off from there. You know, I just kept working. I was probably the least athletic guy in my neighborhood. And I always wanted to be good. And I had in my mind, once I became good, I was going to stay good. So that's how that came along. And just kept me off the streets. You know, I grew up without both my brothers and my father. They was incarcerated when I was 7 years old, so I had to find something to occupy my time while my mom worked. Once I played basketball, to be honest, it was my only way out. I wasn't a great academic student. I knew if I had a shot to get out of North Philadelphia, it had to go through basketball. So I mean, I ran 4 or 5 miles a day, played basketball, worked out for 4 or 5 hours a day. I mean, if I didn't make it in basketball, I don't know what I would have done at the time, you know. But everything panned out the way it should be, and that's why I'm here now. No regrets, but you know, put the work in, so I'm good with the results. I actually had an opportunity to try out for the NBA. I tried out with several NBA teams. I went to training camp with Seattle Supersonics. It didn't work out, and that's when my venture abroad started. It's a difficult journey. Fired a couple agents. You know, I blamed them for me not being in the NBA, which I probably wouldn't have been an NBA player anyway. But and just the journey, just going to different countries and embracing their culture, taking my family with it, and still working hard. You know, hard work never stops, but it was a good adventure for me. Basketball was great. The level of it was better than I thought. It's better than a lot of people really expect. Some of the places I've played in Europe, I would say Serbia was probably the best as far as atmosphere. As everyone knows, Serbian basketball, like basketball players can really play. I'm talking 8,000–9,000 fans and warm-ups. I mean, so I don't think in my year in Serbia I ever stretched. I mean, I was ready to go once I seen the fans screaming your name, chanting. But Italy was, you know, I did 8 years there. My son was born there, so Italy's always special. Playing in Russia was great. Playing in St. Petersburg, winning the championship in Russia, you know, financially it was great. So I mean, I've been in some good places overseas. You know, at the end game is I always wanted to be a coach. You know, to help the younger players that don't have a mentor or a father figure in their lives, and I thought I can be a big help for some program, high school, junior college, whatever. And you know, I always stayed in contact with Coach, and I was like, Coach, you know, I always let him know if there's any chance he can help me get a job or introduce me to, you know, high school, college basketball. And you know, I wound up calling him, and the opportunity presented itself. But I think I had 1 or 2 more years to play. I played in Lebanon last year in Mexico. Still averaged 20 at 35, which is impressive. Still playing 35, 40 minutes. Just I was away from my family the last 2 years, which, you know, is difficult once you get older. The grind wasn't the same for me. I think I maxed out what I was going to make financially. I was just playing just because I still love the game, but you know, I'd rather be home, spend time with my family, and go on to my next career. So I mean, that's where that came about.
Well, the Golden Eagles now will turn their attention to as tough a road trip as there is in Conference USA, a Thursday night ball game at the Bartow Arena in Birmingham against the Blazers of UAB, and then a trip up the interstate to Murfreesboro, Tennessee to take on a really good Blue Raider ball club of Middle Tennessee. And Doc, but you go on there with a couple of wins, maybe a little confidence, but those are 2 tough trips, probably the 2 toughest trips to have to make back-to-back in Conference USA.
Well, the thing that makes it tough is the 2 teams that are waiting on you. And, you know, as you mentioned, you go to UAB on Thursday night. We're going to have Tim and Eddie play really, really well because they are such a strong team inside. So we're going to have to battle them, and they've done a nice job with their basketball team, and they're going to have come off a couple of wins over the past weekend. And so going on the road is difficult. So we got that one first, and as you mentioned, after that, you get a chance to go up and play a Middle Tennessee team that's leading the league. No question about it. You know, has probably the best player in the league, and the King kid that transferred in there, that's averaging 25 points a ball game. So it's going to be a challenging weekend. I told the team Saturday after the game that you know, that's what it's supposed to be, though. When you go on the road, you know, if you can get a win on the road, man, it feels great. And so that's going to be our challenge. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday is to get ready, and then go play them on Thursday night.
I know you told the team the other night, if you want to be a significant factor in the league, you got to take care of your business at home, but then you got to find a way to win some games on the road.
There's no question. I mean, and each game needs to become bigger and bigger, and there needs to be more and more pressure. It's kind of like we was talking about earlier in the show. You know, it's easy when there's not much pressure on you to make shots. Same as this. If the game doesn't really mean much, then there's not much pressure. You want pressure each and every game. You want each and every game to count. Right now they do. We're 2-2. We're going to UAB, and our mindset is to go up there and get away, find a way to get to the last 5 minutes of the game, and maybe a shot or two will go in.
And you told your team, and we saw that in the games last week against UTEP and UTSA. I mean, they were in some tough situations. You had to like the way they responded, and that's what you got to do on the road. You got to respond to those tough situations.
Well, last year, you know, we was never really in the UAB game. In Middle Tennessee, we was at halftime. So, you know, again, they are two really, really good basketball teams, and we're going to go up there and try to take care of business. And just, again, when you go on the road, take care of the basketball. Don't give up transition baskets. Get to the free throw line more than the other team. And you're going to get to the last 5 minutes and hope you have a player or two step up and hit a big shot.
All right, well, congratulations on the 2 wins last week, and best of luck this week at the UAB and Middle Tennessee.
Hey, John, appreciate it.
All right, Coach Doc Sadler and the Golden Eagles. Thursday night, we're at the Bartow Arena in Birmingham, take on UAB, and then Saturday, it's the Blue Raiders of Middle Tennessee up in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Don't forget, Monday night, we're at Georgia Blue for the Golden Eagle Hotline with Coach Doc Sadler, so why not come by, visit with us, enjoy a great meal. We'll sit around and talk a little Golden Eagle basketball. That'll do it this week. Have a great week, everybody. We'll see you next time when we take another inside look into Golden Eagle basketball.
You got me falling hard, sweet baby, you got me falling hard for you. And still, I felt this way before, you know it's true. And still, you got me more and more. Oh, you got me falling hard.
Been thinking about it since I was a kid.
Mom would be so proud.
If I could do it for a living.
Using my mom's recipes to open up a cupcake shop.
For my daughter to go to vet school.
Singing karaoke in all 50 states.
Captaining my own shrimp boat.
Tell us what you dream about. With the right loan or savings plan, we can make it a reality, no matter how crazy.
That's right. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Keeping you within reach of what matters most. We're Bancorp South, and we're right where you are.
Hey Southern Miss fans, it's Toby Barker, Mayor of Hattiesburg. Mickey Spagnola once wrote, if you're going to war and you get to choose first, choose Southern Mississippi. Always choose Southern Mississippi. Don't fight Southern Mississippi, because no matter how hard you fight, those folks will fight harder. His words capture the character of our institution and our city. We here in Hattiesburg are writing a new story, one where we rise to our challenges with great excitement, one where we push our city to reach its potential, and most importantly, one where there's real partnership between the University of Southern Mississippi and the city of Hattiesburg. Southern Miss is vital to our city's success, from the quality of life it provides through athletics and the arts to the talent it cultivates in the classroom. We share a common destiny. Hattiesburg is proud to be Mississippi's college city, and we hope as we go forward you'll join us in supporting our Golden Eagles this season as they go to the top.